Ooh, looks like you've gone a little off track with Eric and Ted. Live from the Laid Back Manor Studios in Galesburg, Illinois.
That was badass.
That was fantastic. Terry Hodges is here, Ted.
Terry, what's up, buddy?
How you guys doing, man?
Okay, we were told by our producer, who is also a drummer, we're in the Laid Back Manor Studios for episode 3. Terry's a little winded. Did you have a blast just now?
I'm not winded. Do I sound winded?
Well, hey,
I'm old, but I'm not winded.
we're all a little old. It's okay to be winded.
It's all right to be. Wait, when's the last time you played? You came in and you saw Billy's Roland. Is it Electronic Kid? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just tore
I was
it up.
like, dang, that's cool, man. He didn't. Back in the day, well, not back in the day. What was it, last year? but
way back
he's
in
got a really
2023.
nice drum set upstairs. So no, this is nice. Yeah,
Why would someone?
I love it.
Would you play one of those live if you had to?
If I had to.
Yeah.
And I tell you the only reason why is because if something goes wrong, like if the brain of that thing takes a dive, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Even with a junk drum kit, you can tape it up or something, and still kind of play. But if that thing takes a dive, you ain't gonna hear nothing.
Right.
That's the only bad part about those. Those are amazing for practicing and having fun, and small gigs where, But then as far as in front of a ton of people, I don't think it would be a good idea.
Thanks for making the trip on a treacherous night. Was it treacherous out there? No.
The Pokey had a guy in the ditch on 34, and I don't know how he got in the ditch. He must not have been really paying attention. It's just wet, kind of.
I started the morning with an accident, if anybody cares.
Were you in the accident, or you just watched it?
Linwood in Maine.
You were in the accident?
I got tapped.
No.
Yeah.
Like Dale Earnhardt
And
style?
the snow was, Dale Earnhardt style, right on the seam of my door.
Oh, no.
Turning right onto Linwood to go to Monmouth.
No kidding.
Yeah, and a guy was coming from Abingdon and going, turning that left.
So almost 2 years ago, I'm not going to say 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
to
you
the
were
day.
in the accident.
Yeah, but I was coming back from Iowa City. It was snowing like it was today. There was some black ice. I rolled a truck. I broke my neck. It sucked.
Wow.
So today I'm in Iowa City.
Yeah.
I've got the truck, not the same truck because I totaled that one.
Right.
But I've got the new truck that we got after that. And I shit you not, like 3 people from the Galesburg office called me in Iowa City and they're like, hey man, it's snowing.
Don't drive.
Just be careful. Don't take that road that you took last time.
Oh my
and then
gosh.
the first one, I'm like, oh, well, that's real sweet. Thank you very much. No, I'll be very careful on my way home. And then I got the second call. And then I got the third call. And then everybody at the office, as I was leaving, they're like, hey, be real careful on your way home today, man. I mean, you roll one truck, and all of a sudden, people are like, "Whoa!"
On the bright side of that, though, a lot of people must love you, man, because
right.
they're looking out for you. Just like, dude,
I'm going with
safe.
your theory on this one because I think most of them
think they're
were
patronizing you a little bit there.
It might be the 2024 Cherry Red Chevrolet that they love more than anything.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're doing better. Jeez.
Thanks.
Well, people forget how to drive when it snows
That
a
ain't
little
no
bit.
kidding.
Yeah.
I noticed that today a lot.
I forget on occasion too, but then quickly remember. But I bring it up because it's the first time I've been in an accident where it wasn't my fault in a long
where it wasn't my fault. I love the little caveat there.
in a
man.
long time. Well, seriously, thanks for making the drive on a cold night and coming in the Iron Maiden shirt. And you're a drummer for all your life. And Nico McBrain. We're saying it right, McBrain?
I think so.
McBride?
Yeah.
Just retired after 42 years. Played his show like a week ago.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
Did you see the footage of that?
I haven't yet. No,
Dude.
Can I do a little deep dive here on Iron Maiden real fast?
Sure. Yeah.
Do it.
All right, so you mentioned Brazil, like Rio. They're just huge in South America.
Yeah.
And I was listening to this thing the other day, and the reason why Iron Maiden today puts together the tour schedule that they do, they did this super deep dive, hired this company, and they said, all right, we want you to look at where our albums are pirated the most. And we want to go to those places because like they don't want to buy CDs, but they want to listen to our music.
Absolutely.
Which means they probably want to see us live in concert. So they did this like stupid, like large data reconstruction thing where they were pirated the most, and they fashioned their tour around those
genius.
places.
And also, by the way, Bruce Dickinson is a pilot.
Yes.
And he flew them and the whole crew. He figured that he could get all for years he's been trying to figure out how can I get all the gear and the band and everybody else on a plane, and he did it, and he did that exact tour.
He's an amazing pilot, by the way.
Yeah.
But like it's so crazy. Like their tour schedule is based on where people pirate their music the most.
They go to where nobody else will
because they'll buy tickets and tickets are money.
And I bet I feel secure in saying this, that nobody has more T-shirts out in the world except maybe the Misfits. It seems like everybody has one of those.
I saw one at Walmart up in the cities.
Oh my God! But then Iron Maiden. I mean, at the show, people are standing in the line.
Oh my God!
One of the only shows that people go to and wear the band shirt to the show.
To the show, yeah, absolutely.
The line in Rosemont was astronomical. It took me 4 times. I went down there. I went because we bought kind of cheap seats,
Yeah.
And I went down there 4 times. The 4th time, I finally got a shirt.
Earlier this year, right? You got to see him.
In October,
That's so great.
Now, I just have to ask.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Did you pirate their music before you went?
No, I'm so illiterate with anything technical at all. That's why it was like Billy had to show me how to play those drums. Because I mean, you can ask Sam in the band. I can't hardly plug in 5 microphones for the drums. Without screwing it up somehow. I'm really,
I got lucky enough to go in 17. My cousin knew I'd always wanted to see him. He bought tickets, and I went out in Phoenix and saw him. So, we deserved 15 minutes on Iron Maiden.
I definitely agree.
Your mom took you when you were a little kid, right?
No, didn't take me. Took my brother.
Took your brother.
Your mom did?
Mom went.
Yeah. So
good for mom.
But mom said, if you're going to this concert, I'm taking you with. And my brother said, okay, if you're going, you're wearing work clothes because I don't want anybody to think you're my girlfriend. So my mom is in work clothes at an Iron Maiden concert.
Oh my gosh.
And she came home and I remember her saying, I don't know why, but everybody had their fists up or their pinky and their index finger out. And they were shaking their heads. I was like, they're going to get dizzy.
How she sustained a 2-hour show.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Good for her, man.
I don't remember if this is right or not, but I almost want to say that it was Quiet Riot who opened. Quiet Riot have opened for Iron Maiden back in
possibly,
the day?
Sure, yeah.
You're gonna get me another 15 minutes on them. Frankie Banali was my dude. I mean,
he was great. Yep.
I got to meet him a few times, and So I mean, I'm gonna give you a story here. So at Northwestern High School, I don't know if you ever remember where that is, in the middle of the cornfield down by Scioto, Illinois.
Okay,
that's where I'm in school.
Yeah.
And it's 7th and 8th grade probably is when Shout at the Devil.
Oh yeah.
And Mental Health.
Yes.
And within a few years, because like I said, I'm kind of always behind.
It always took me a while to get past.
And then Pyromania snuck in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little before that, but anyways.
82, 83. Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh, Tommy Lee this and Tommy Lee that. And I'm like, I think he's awesome and all that, but it's like he's just not my guy. There was just something about him that I never was really drawn to. And
upside drumming, not your thing. Upside down drumming.
No, I think it's awesome that he's.
It's awesome. It doesn't take more skill.
It takes abs. You ever see his abs?
Yes,
yeah. He's got. I don't have that. But he just really. He's cool and all that, but he just wasn't my thing. Maybe it's because he's too tall and skinny, and I'm not. And but man, Quiet Riot, Frankie Banali, he's just powerful. And so this dude's my hero my whole life. One time up in Clinton, Iowa, it was called Pig Stock back in the day. You ever remember going to that?
Absolutely, on a bus or two.
And and your boy Bruce Sampson, I'm pretty sure drove my honey to Clinton, Iowa, and it was Tora. Quiet Riot and Great White were the big boys that were there that day.
You weren't doing an opening slot. You were just going to the show.
I was just a turkey at that point.
Yeah.
I'm still just a turkey.
Yeah.
Anyways, and Quiet Riot played early in the day, probably at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, because they were going off somewhere more important than Clinton, Iowa.
Is Rudy still in the band?
No, it was Chuck Wright, but it was Carlos and Frankie and Kevin DeBrow.
Good.
So,
most of them were there.
Yeah. And Chuck was in the band for 100 years. There's Frankie Banali, my hero. Like, it's like, I'm like dying. I'm like, oh my God, because I'm a kid, kind of. And I'm just like, awestruck. And he is so nice and just a really nice dude. And so me being a dork, I'm like, Frankie, like we're like besties. I'm like, Frankie, if you break a drumstick, save it for me, okay? And like blah 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 blah. And I'm sure I'm just talking a million mile an hour, and just this guy's like, dude, shut it.
Are you even 18 by this point?
I was
in your 20s,
early 20s,
early 20s. Yeah, okay.
And
but you turned 8 years old in that moment.
Oh my God. It was like, a dream come true, honestly, because I just always thought he was awesome.
I was gonna ask,
and it's really cool when you meet your hero or whatever, and they're not a dick.
It works out, right?
Because man, that has happened to a lot of folks. And anyways, so he's playing, and I mean they're killing it, and I'm in the front row because it's early in the day, like hardly anybody is there yet. They're all waiting because they figured there was going to be a nighttime while they wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I'm standing right up front there. Well, I see him, and he breaks the stick, okay? And instead of just chucking it somewhere, or he laid it right down next to him. And as soon as the show's over, he comes over and hands it to me. I swear.
He remembered.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then he signed it, and I have it in my house right now.
Of course you do.
Is it
in a piece of glass? Is it in case?
No, but I did spray some clear coat on it because it was starting to evaporate after 100 years.
100 years.
Well, it's a Vic Firth, and it's just got a little break in it, and he totally was playing, and he looked at it, and I'm from me to you.
Yeah.
And he looks at it, he's like, oh, and he puts it down and gets a new one, and he totally brought it over to me and handed it to me.
And we lost.
That was like a huge thing for me.
We lost him how long ago?
It's probably been 2 years, probably at least now.
Cancer?
Prostate cancer, or pancreatic. Same thing with Patrick Swayze. That's a rough one. Cancer don't give a shit who you are.
Nope.
Nah. It just.
How about, if you love Banali, how about let's stay in the 80s, and even now the guy's he's got his own Banali. Like Tommy Aldridge, who is going to bring up.
He's my grandpa, I think.
Yes.
Have you seen his hair? I think we're brothers. He's probably my grandpa, though. He's old.
Has its own zip code just like yours. So, besides being a nice guy, a great drummer, and in some pretty cool bands, that's why I've always loved Terry Hodges. But also, I don't know how many gigs I showed up at. I think not at Quiet Riot, but Aldridge was in Quiet Riot for a while, right? Wasn't he? I think he was but he was in Sabbath. I did a little Rainbow time, did a lot of White Snake time. Mm-hmm. So there were many shows I'd go to, and I'd be like, oh my God, Aldridge is playing tonight.
If you needed a dude, he was the guy.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still, I think he's about 71, and I saw him, he does clinics on Instagram.
Yeah.
Dude, all that hair is still there. He's
still
ripped.
jacked, yeah.
Jacked, got a tan, like he's living his life.
That's awesome.
Tommy fucking
He looks like he's going 100 mile an hour outside.
Yes.
Like he's on a motorcycle going like a zillion. The poor guy, his face, he's so skinny. He's like, ugh.
Colvin, you like the Aldridge over there, right?
Yeah.
He likes the.
Yep, the horns.
Everybody likes Tommy Aldridge.
So, besides Banali, when you started getting in, when your heroes looking up on the wall and the posters, I'm sure you had him. Banali, who else? Peter Criss.
Yes, he was actually my first love, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
So, okay.
No, we know.
Here's another quick story that some people have heard. My mom's sister had these two boys, Mark and Jason. They were my cousins.
Yeah.
And they were older than me, and they were ornery.
Yeah. But they showed you some damn cool music.
Yes.
Yes.
I will always have that with them.
That's great.
So back when we were kids, there wasn't the internet, and we're all about the same age probably.
Yeah.
And so you went to your cousin's house and you played, and they would do yard sales and crap or whatever. I don't know what they were doing. Anyways, I'm probably it was 77 or 8, so I'm probably 6 or 7, and they didn't want to hang out with me all the time, and after a while I started just asking for this, but my aunt had one of them square stereos with the flip top lid.
Absolutely.
And my cousins had Kiss.
Oh, the records.
And they had Kiss Alive too.
Oh my God.
With the big fold out.
Yes.
With the fire and the
gatefold, yeah.
Just awesomeness.
Yeah.
And so
It's what made you want to be a rock star.
it was. It totally was.
Yeah.
And you're one of the best. You got the best.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah. And you just sit there with that record, and they'd be outside shooting each other with BB guns and killing birds and whatever. And I'm in there. I didn't give a crap what they were doing.
That is
And I'm
awesome.
just like, damn. And then when the record get over, I'd be like, I have to go get them. And they had these big, like bigger than these cans. These are the small cans.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
remember those.
And plus, my head was probably like a
With
softball.
that curly cord.
They totally had the
stretched that went to the. Yeah.
I could go clear to Billy's kitchen with that cord. That damn thing was probably 30 foot long.
Could do that with the telephone too.
Yes, for sure.
Back in the day.
But listening to them records, and they had Iron Maiden, and they had
Would it be more likely that we'd find you in a room listening to music than out on roofs and doing squirt guns and playing wiffle ball?
Well, yeah. After a while, I just wanted to go in there and listen to songs I didn't really care about and stuff.
That's awesome.
And I know it's crazy.
What was back then? Was it the first instrument? By the way,
It's the only
a
instrument.
drummer brought a cigar box guitar with him tonight.
I know. I can't wait.
And
for
I
this.
can't wait. We got a drum solo to kick it off, and we're gonna get that later. I booked Terry Hodges. I didn't want him to play drums. You don't call a drummer over to your house to interview him and say, "Play some drums."
Yeah, but
for me."
Billy has this sweet new kid I never got to try out.
But I'm glad he did. I'm so glad he did.
That thing is cool. I wish I had that in my house.
In your living room.
Well, it's kind of tight with the Christmas tree, but we can move that.
What was the first?
Sorry, honey, we're moving this.
We got to move the tree over about 2 foot. I got this drum kit, man.
You've gone a little off track with Eric and Ted, live from the Laid Back Manor Studios in Galesburg, Illinois.
What brought you to the drums? Was it a kit under the tree? Did they? Somebody push you in school?
Yeah, when you're listening to that Kiss album, what was it? The drums that you're like, yeah, that's what I got.
And the pictures, right?
Yeah.
That kit.
Well, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be Gene, but then, I don't know, because the tongue, and all that stuff.
He was scary.
And that picture on Kiss Live too, where he's all
yes, covered.
Gosh, it's awesome.
It's badass.
And I was an impressionable kid, I guess.
Me too.
I still like him. I remember listening to this is a name, Eddie Rabbit. Okay.
Yes, I love Eddie.
And I'm gonna date myself in this gig we're doing right
It's
now.
for miles.
Gosh, I'm old as
Guys
crap,
are
and people are gonna
badass.
know now.
Yeah.
I look young compared to a lot of people my age.
You look young compared to us.
I'm 52. That's pretty good. Let me take my glasses off, and I look dumb. Okay.
I'm 54. By the time this comes out in a month, I'll be 54.
We're gonna be 92 years old.
Yeah.
But no, like Eddie Rabbit. Remember that song that was in the movie with Clint Eastwood?
Yes,
Every Which Way But Loose. Yeah, and he would go do 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 do.
Oh, that's right.
I remember being. I don't even know what year that song came out. One of us is gonna have to be flipping.
82. I'm going to go with 82. Yeah.
I think it's older.
Oh,
than that.
78. 78.
Probably,
yes.
yeah.
Every Which Way But Loose,
Yeah.
78.
And I remember sitting
Or
on.
76.
I remember. Oh, he's a betting man. Here we go. Anybody got your quarters? Quarters.
You gotta know.
But no, I remember sitting in the kitchen at my house, being a kid and watching my mom do the dishes, and we had a little radio. We always had music going on
and
somewhere.
that fills not at the beginning of the song. It's in the middle, right?
Right before the chorus.
Yes.
Yes. And it sounded like
78, my old bastard.
78. So I was
78.
I was like 6.
Okay. That's
And I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I remember sitting in the, on the little wooden stool watching my mom do dishes or something, or cook supper, and gosh, I don't know, probably some
MAQ on or something.
Probably, yeah,
Yep.
probably some Chicago
Yep.
AM radio station
Yeah.
back in those days.
Yep.
When that song comes on, old boy will play it on the noontime,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, doo doo.
I played on the new time where I'm at too now. I
Yeah.
love Eddie Rabbit. Yeah. I grew up with that too.
He was cool, man.
That's
cancer got that guy too. The damn cancer.
right.
It's drummers. You're fucked.
Well, just
It seemed like
cancer is terrible, man.
if you were a musician in the 70s, you were given a microphone, a guitar, and a pack of cigarettes. You know, that was like you.
That was your bonus.
You had those things. You had to have them.
You got this contract with Marlboro.
You don't
got to smoke 15. You
don't smoke?
You do now, kid.
You do know, kid.
You want this money? You're gonna start hammering them back. That's terrible. Isn't it?
So, were you in the school band? Was that part?
I
of
was
your
not
thing?
in the school band.
I was wondering. I was actually going to ask that. Like,
Why not?
just start on the drum line.
No.
Were you too cool for it?
I was.
You thought you were? Yeah. You're
Well,
like, I'm not gonna do that.
no. At our little school,
Yeah.
there was. I don't know how it even happened. So, the buddy of mine was in the school band, and he's like, I'm just walking around goofing off, and there was a little drum kit in there and there was nobody around. So he just sat down and started kind of jamming, and he said, "Here, man, try it out." And I'm like, because I got a
First time behind a kit in a school.
first time I had a real kit, but my dad went through a lot of 5-gallon buckets. I invented that crap that they put on the YouTube. I was doing that.
You were doing the buckets
Oh, yeah,
on
30
the New York City streets before the kids were?
Well, I was doing it in my dad's barn, right?
That's awesome.
I
And,
remember the guys in Chicago outside of the Cubs games.
You still
man.
see it.
Oh, they still do it.
Yeah.
Some of those guys are amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right?
fun to watch.
They just whoop tail on those things.
Yeah.
But I had like the Alex fan, and he's not one of my like favorite guys. But when I seen his drum kit,
Yes.
so I went and like ripped off all my dad's buckets because we lived on a farm. I mean, our nearest neighbor was like a mile away.
Sure.
So I have all these buckets, like they're all tuned the same, obviously, but and I would go out there with that radio, the same one.
Yeah.
I'd steal it from my sister, and I'd go out there and whatever song was on WLS in Chicago
Yes.
with Larry Lujak, and all that, and I'd just play with the songs.
Yeah.
And because that was before I was, cool and had a tape deck or anything.
You were woodshedding.
I kind of was. I don't know. It's just funny because, but man, he would be super pissed when you'd break one because, like, he's a farmer. They don't. These 5-gallon buckets. I got it for free from somewhere, but it costs money. He's not around, so he ain't gonna hear this.
So
not gonna
first
be mad.
band,
No.
First band. Were you one of those guys that was in a band with? But I'm just spitballing here. Too young to play in a bar. But
Exactly. Oh yeah,
Really?
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you caught on quick. You got good quick.
I kind of did. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it's weird. I think that there are people that are born with and built for rhythm, and then there are people that aren't. And the people that are, you're just like, oh yeah,
Are sitting
I
across
hear
from
that.
us.
Yeah, right. But I can hear that, and I can do that, and I can expand on that.
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I only really had like 2 lessons. And I'm not bragging or whatever, but I'm just saying there was this guy, and it was at the school again, and that's another reason why I didn't. I played football and stuff. I was actually longest hair on the all-conference football team in like 1980.
I got a trophy for it.
I do.
It is cool.
I have a plaque. I have a plaque from the Armory and somewhere in Monmouth for being Player of the Week.
Did some bastard try to pull you down by that hair at a few
No,
times?
it
good.
wasn't that long,
That's
but it
good.
was
All right.
it was like a fro, like Tommy Aldridge. Remember we were talking about that.
It wasn't a fro back in the 80s.
Dude,
It was a mullet. No.
No, my hair is too curly, dude. It was a fro. I can own it.
Dude, you
now.
walk in a football stadium and Terry Hodges is sitting behind tuning his kit, and the other side, you can see Terry Hodges be like, "Oh, it's Hodges behind the kit today," because of his fucking hair.
That's a funny story. Neon Nova is playing down in what is that town? Keithsburg. And this girl we know that used to work with Trisha, she comes walking across the thing. I knew that was Terry Hodges. I could see that hair flying from clear across there when we pulled up. I just started cracking up.
It's true, man.
Yeah, old Tara. She's like, I saw that was you. I knew that was Terry Hodges back there rocking with that hair all over the place. She doesn't really sound like an old Southern woman, but
Here's the thing.
that's the only voice I know.
That's all right.
That's
all right.
if you hear me talking about some woman saying something cool or whatever, it's going to sound like an old Southern woman. I told you guys they didn't do that.
I do that when I do my wife.
Sounds like Cartman.
Well, yeah.
When I do my
I've been accused of that before.
I do my wife on the radio, and she's like, "Why do you make me sound 90? I'm not 90." It's like, you make me sound really unattractive.
Oh man.
I remember that voice. Yeah. That's hilarious.
It hasn't changed. Here's the thing about drummers. I don't know if they're the first one to get kicked out of the band, but you're leading the shit back there. And if the rest of the guys aren't gelling with you, and then you're the last guy off the stage, right? Terry, right? Because you get to give the sticks away. The rest of the band's already smoking their doobies backstage, right? And Terry's still on stage like, hey, here's a stick for you. Here's a stick. The drummer gets the last moment on the stage. Am I not right?
A guitarist gets to put their shit into a case and walk off. Like, you got to tear that whole thing down, man.
I'm usually the first guy there and last one to go home, for sure.
When the show ends, when the crescendo happens, all the other bands waving off, and Terry's out there giving whoever got Nico McBride's sticks the other night in Brazil,
right?
Those last 2 sticks he threw out. Oh, my God. eBay right now. $10 million.
Is that what you would do with it?
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you
Not
would.
even if I had $10 million.
I'd lacquer him like Terry.
Truly Madly Mandy is proud to be part of the A Little Off Track podcast with Eric and Ted. If you want this voice on your brand, find me at trulymadlymandy.com. If you have a project that needs a voice and you like the sound of mine, reach out anytime at mandy@thebalsers.net or check out my work at trulymadlymandy.com.
Are the people forming bands back when you're, okay, I'm a good drummer? Oh, or are you being asked, hey, you drum, you want to be in our band?
So
how's it go?
I learned 3 songs for a friend of mine, Murray, who went off to join the Army.
Yeah.
So we learned a real lame version of Detroit Rock City.
Yes.
And then Bad to the Bone
of
by
course.
George Thorogood, because it's like,
Yeah.
And I'm 16. And, I mean, as soon as I had a vehicle, and I'm like, because I got the drums Christmas Eve when I'm 15 years old. My dad sold a hog. This is no kidding. And
So you moved from buckets to
a clear Ludwig, like 1970s. If I had it right now and it was pristine, it's worth like $50,000 on.
Oh my God!
I know, right?
God,
I beat the dog out of those.
Did
things.
you? Yeah.
I loved him though. So 15, I get the drum kit on Christmas Eve, and then June, I get a driver's license. I have a vehicle, and I'm jamming in La Harpe at my buddy's house.
Okay.
Because
what's he do? Play bass?
He played a little guitar, very dang little.
Yeah.
And then I had another buddy, and he had a bass. He stole from somebody or something. And
oh wow! So now I got 3 guys.
yeah, and we played this little 3-song deal for him when he went off to basic training at the factory that my dad worked on 3rd shift. There was this dude who played bass, and he's like, Rodney's my dad, and he's like, damn, Rodney, our drummer's quitting, man. Blah blah blah. And my dad doesn't give a crap because he's a farmer. You know what I mean? And I can just see the look on his face. He's like, dude, I don't give a shit, dude. It's like 3:00 in the morning. Go away. My dad's like, I can just see the light bulb. My dad's like, God dang, them drums are loud in my house, dude. And he's like, my kid plays the drums. And he's like, yeah. And so I didn't really, seriously, I've only had them for 6 months, and I had the buckets for several years.
Yeah.
But, it's not the same. So I go to these guys' house, and it ends up being, it's Ted Renner from the Hong Kong Sleepover.
Okay.
It's his house. First band was called Maniacs with an X.
Oh, nice.
And we were.
That's not horrible. There's been worse.
No. And seriously, I'm 16, 17. We played Metallica and Megadeth and Motorhead and all this heavy shit. Iron Maiden. That's where I first learned the Trooper,
Were you playing
and Run of the Hills.
Did you think the rest of the guys in your band were good, or did you care? You were just
no,
we're just making this music.
I had to get good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the better guys you play with, you don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be the worst.
Right.
So you're pushing yourself.
Yeah, you got to bring your game up, or they're going to be like, dude. One of my greatest days ever, if I'm bragging, was my homecoming game for football. I got 3 touchdowns, and I had a gig that night.
Oh, fuck.
I blew off the dance.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Wait. Star athlete and rock star in one night.
In the one day.
It doesn't happen in most people's lives.
No, but he still got laid that night.
No, I sure didn't.
Damn it.
No. I drank some beers and got paid like $35.
Oh, that's awesome.
That back in them days, damn, that was like 4 tanks of gas.
You scored 3 touchdowns. Was it just a regular game or was it a big game?
It was our homecoming game against Yorkwood.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I had 3 touchdown catches.
Suck it, Yorkwood.
Yeah.
I love Yorkwood.
No. That's where I live now, so don't be talking smack.
Yorkwood. Oh, man.
I know, right?
Trouble. Before the episode's over, I will make it up to Yorkwood.
They'll be pooping in my yard.
I will make it up to Yorkwood.
But I'm like, I'm going to a stupid dance. I'm jamming.
Is that one of the greatest nights of your life?
Besides like having kids and all the the important stuff. Absolutely.
Meeting Trisha, that was number one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No,
it's going to be 25 years this coming up year.
You got 25?
You were the DJ at my wedding.
That's right.
You were assistant DJ at my wedding.
Wait. Time out.
What?
Uh-oh.
Assistant?
I was assistant, yeah.
He was the roadie.
I was just assistant. And you know what happens to assistant DJs? They get beat up in bathrooms by lead singers. That's a whole nother podcast.
I don't know anything about that.
Are you shitting me?
Is your wife texting?
It's my daughter.
How's the podcast going? Oh, that's allowed. Daughters are allowed on podcasts.
She's like 15,
We
Eric.
all got daughters in this room.
She's 15.
We all got daughters.
She hates the car I drove here because it's her car, right?
Oh, shit.
You know what it is? Did you see it?
When am I getting my car back? What is it? Monte Carlo, you said?
It's a 2003 Monte SS with like a sunroof and heated seats. Dude, you know how good they feel on your old butt?
Especially today.
God, especially today.
I used to get a ride to school in an 85 SS Monte Carlo.
They're
Black,
nice. Yeah, it drives. Dude, it's awesome in the snow.
But she hates it.
Yeah, because it don't have 4 doors. All the kids are weird now. Who in the heck wants 4 doors?
They all want 4 doors. They don't want kids.
No.
Well,
they're spoiled.
Thank goodness for a few things.
They're spoiled kids now. I don't know. It's okay.
How often do you pick up the cigar guitar player? Tell me
Well-
exactly what you call that.
It is a
Cigar box guitar?
yes.
Yes, and they are made. They are made locally.
You're good, Eric.
Well, yeah, we made it out of my work.
Yeah, you and who?
Jeff and Osdall.
And his brand is
Bullethead.
Bullethead.
He has kind of a bullet-shaped head. He was advertising or something on Etsy, maybe.
Yeah.
And some smart-ass guy got on there and said, "Hey, man, your head looks like a bullet. Like, you look like a bullet head, man." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, nice." And so instead of being discouraged, he took the high road and made some money with the bullet head. And like,
describe it, the guitar.
well, it's a punch.
Like you did to me in the kitchen.
It's a punch wooden. You have to have a wooden cigar box. You can't use some King Edward cardboard thing. It won't sound right.
Okay.
And y'all hear that? It's got a Seymour Duncan Dimebag Darrell from Pantera signature pickup in it.
Oh my goodness.
It's got gold hardware, a couple cool sound holes, some flames from AutoZone. Right? Yeah, but without the flames, it's lame. You know what I'm saying?
That is so great.
But yeah, them are totally AutoZone.
Tell me about
flames.
the inlays. You said they're picks?
Yeah, you just drill it out a little bit, and then we took some thin guitar picks and took a paper punch thingy.
Why that?
Because it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
And it's
cool, Eric.
You can't haul a drum kit outside when you got because in Kirkwood it's a really small town, so you can have
There's
like a bonfire in your backyard and there's no whining about it.
Yeah.
And
I think Billy needs a lick. You need him to rip something.
A Little Off Track is brought to you by Laid Back Manor Studios in Galesburg. Ready to record your songs? Reach out to Billy Colvin at billyclvn@gmail.com.
yeah, can you give me like a blues shuffle?
The Laid Back Manor Studios. Our host and producer and mixer and master, Billy on the drums. Drummer Terry Hodges on the cigar box.
Did we just have a podcast and fucking awesome broke out?
That was so great.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh my goodness.
It's out of tune, man.
Shout out
it's
to
11 degrees.
Bullethead cigar box
Yeah.
guitars. By the way, where can I pick up a Bullethead?
I don't know.
You can't. It's mine.
You
might
actually help make them.
Oh, I totally made this one. I just didn't wire it because I'm too dumb.
Yeah.
Jeff did a great job wiring. He's a good solderer. I think maybe that's where I struggle would be soldering.
Yeah. Do you pick up a lot at home? And
Playing?
Yeah. Sit
Oh
on
yeah,
the
that's right
couch
behind.
and noodle?
Yeah, we have like a tri-level thing.
Yeah.
And our basement is like a living room, so
Yeah.
it's right behind the chair. I have a Fender and I have a nice Fender amp.
Nice.
And one time Natalie was walking down the road in the summertime, and
Your daughter.
yeah, and she could hear me playing like from like half a block. I wish, gosh, if I had money and was better.
Man, stop by my house. No, it's just Dad.
No, it's just Dad. God, I wish I had like a Marshall with like a 412 or something. That'd be so bad.
So is this all
Just
out of,
like really piss people off. Like from up, like clear uptown. I heard a guitar like 6 blocks away.
You want to talk shit? Here's this.
Did this come out at all of looking at the backsides of a lot of guitar players over the years?
I don't know. I've always liked guitars.
Yeah.
Like I really love Dimebag Darrell. Everybody like Ace Frehley. Mm-hmm. Like I was so blown away. It's not too late, but I feel like lame-o but man, Dave Murray from Iron Maiden.
Yes.
I keep talking about them, but gosh, that show was so good, and I just never really realized like how just badass that dude is.
Yeah.
So good, and he's so mellow. He just how them guys remember where to put their fingers.
When did you get in a band that you were finally getting a decent paycheck?
Ooh.
I was getting, like I said, I made $35.
35 was pretty
back
good.
in, back in the day.
I don't know what's better, $35 or 3 touchdowns, but
That was the same day. So I know that's the one I have the trophy for at home. It's hanging in my basement where the furnace is.
I mean, you pretty much peaked.
I know at like 17.
Yeah,
I was all done.
I mean, you might have been.
My
with
first
bigger
car.
bands,
My
but-
first car was a '77 Trans Am.
how could you fit a drum kit in a
Jesus.
Trans Am?
Dude, it was not easy.
You did it?
Shaw.
That's so great.
The trunk was open.
Oh my God!
There's a
I look like
bass kit on the top.
You know how them kids have the trucks now with the asses really low on the ground. Everybody,
Yeah.
That's what my Trans Am looked like because I had a bunch of hardware in the back. It was squatting.
What were you playing back then?
Ludwig.
In the bands?
Oh,
Yeah.
drums.
Yeah, I know. You were playing the drums.
Come on, that's awesome.
Wait, you were just playing 80s and 90s?
Well, yeah, we were playing, Megadeth, Metallica.
Yeah.
It was almost relevant then. I mean, it was not
You were
old.
thrashing then a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, we were super heavy.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And then the band after that was more like a classic rock band, I guess.
Was that Concrete?
No. Gosh, I've been in 100 bands there.
I know. Work me up to...
Okay, so I'm in Maniacs. Actually, the first band we did the 3 songs.
Yeah.
It's spelled out XLR8R.
Yeah, you don't have to give me history. Just name some of these bands because I want to see if there's any better than Maniacs.
Okay, so and then Maniacs and then Thin Ice, I believe.
Ice, okay.
It was also called Mystic Highway for a while, but we changed that because that
None
was
of them are
terrible.
Yeah, that was
They used to
lame.
call us Mystic Pizza. Remember
Mystic
that?
Highway, yeah. Sounds
That
like
old movie.
Sounds like a Deep Purple song.
And then
Were you in Dry ever?
I was in Dry,
in Dry?
for like several
the first
years.
incarnation?
Third, probably.
Okay.
Well, it had to be around 1996 or so because I met my wife then.
Dry turned into a live juggernaut and
Gosh,
a money maker.
we had a lot of fun.
Were you in it when they started making getting playing a lot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We played a ton.
That's
We had a fun time.
So
in
you
that
were
band.
getting a taste of you were playing in a lot of places and it was packed at night and there was
Tooties
82
before it burned down. Yeah.
Oh,
You couldn't even walk through that place, man. It was cool.
So a few hundred people on Friday and Saturday nights.
Well, maybe 50 or 60, but
Yeah.
we played a few outdoor shows that were real big.
Yeah. Where'd you take off from there?
Well, that would
After
have
Sean
been
was mean to you.
about the time when Drophammer was going to
Drophammer, yes.
Yeah.
And if we had to, I won't say, I wouldn't dare to say it was your favorite band you were in, but as
You could dare to
as
say that,
for
probably.
as for in success
Yeah.
and maybe getting a couple singles on the radio, that was a huge band.
Yeah, I remember driving home from work down in Colchester and driving to Monmouth and hearing myself on, our band on the radio. and
Who was
stuff.
playing them?
Z-Man on 97X. He had a thing in the afternoon, like at 3 o'clock, that was the hair set.
Yeah.
And so we all had long hair, and so he snuck us in with like rat and stuff.
No, right?
Nobody knew.
That's so fantastic.
And he kind of, I'm not going to say he fixed it, but they had a ringer band that was traveling with them on that Motley Crue Decade of Decadence tour. And we beat them at the Battle of the Bands.
To open for Motley Crue.
So we got to play.
Is that not amazing?
So we got to play 4 songs. I mean,
you were where at? Clinton, Iowa?
No, at the River Center in Davenport. That big arena where they have the comic book shows and stuff.
Opening for Motley Crue. Did you get to meet anybody come close?
I met Tommy Lee. He needed a bath.
Yeah.
He was a little grubby.
Yeah.
That was when he was going through his like braid stages and stuff, kind of looking like Snoop Dogg a little bit.
Sure. There was an electronic album that escaped everybody.
No.
Yeah.
But
no.
Mick Mars was very small and nice.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Very small.
Gosh, he was. He's about as big as this guitar. He's so small.
So this is the biggest show of your life.
At that point, it sure was.
Does everybody in the band feel like that?
Well, gosh, it was stressful.
Yeah.
They only let us play like 4 songs, and they were really shitty to us.
Yeah.
And locked us in this little like jail cell room and said, "Don't come out until we tell you."
But of course, you wood chopped those 4 songs for weeks, right? And you knew what you were going to play.
Yeah.
They were sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't give us any overhead lights, just spots.
Oh, fuck.
So it was like playing in front of a train.
Oh, man.
I couldn't even hardly see the drums in front of me. Dude, it was like playing with,
Walking off stage, how'd you guys feel?
blind. No, I'm just kidding. Like it was really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, later on in life, I got to play at the iWireless for Rat and Dokken and Lita Ford and Sebastian Bach.
That's so awesome.
I got to eat.
In Drophammer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I got to eat chicken Alfredo with Lita Ford.
That's so
that was nice. We didn't share it.
You sat next to Lita Ford.
No, she was across from me.
Still.
Yeah. I mean, she was really nice.
I bet.
She's also as big as this guitar. She's really small.
That's so great. Yeah.
The chicken Alfredo was amazing, by the way, at the Mark.
You are in a band at this point, and you're opening up for some of your heroes, the people you laid on your bed.
We
Terry,
opened up for a lot of bands,
tapping those air sticks and looking at those posters, and now you're playing with them.
We played with Jackal and Warrant and Firehouse.
Was Jackal fun?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet.
And
were they?
They weren't very friendly.
They weren't very friendly.
It wasn't that they weren't friendly; they were just not available. I guess.
Yes,
I guess that's a better word.
Yes.
Because I don't think they were like buttholes or whatever, but they just didn't hang around.
Accessible is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
We opened for Rick Emmett from Triumph.
Oh wow.
He was amazing.
Give me a Triumph song. There's a Triumph song with a line in it.
I'm young now, I'm wild now, I want to be free.
Hold the line.
No, that's Toto.
No, but there's a
Toto.
Damn it!
Lay it on the line.
Lay it on the fucking
one.
line.
Yeah, that's the one you were looking for.
Fuck you, Theodore. Sitting over there thinking I didn't know my Triumph.
And he was also as big as this guitar. I can, because I'm short, dude, and some of these dudes.
Met a lot of little people.
I've met a ton of little folks.
Yeah.
We opened for Great White. I've opened for them twice.
Were you at the show in Monmouth?
Yeah.
Or Jack Russell was it?
Yes, we opened up for him.
Jerk, rest his soul. He was
really mad at the monitor, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was madder than a wet hand.
And their manager was dicks to some local folks.
That was right after they burnt that place down and stuff, so they weren't in a good mood.
No, they weren't. I got to interview Mark Kendall.
He's a surfer, isn't he?
He sat next to me. He was the greatest.
I met him a few times, and he's super cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
And he talks like a dude, man.
He was awesome.
He's like, you just expect him to bust out some sand and a board. He's a surfer.
He got sick of Jack's antics quickly after and left.
Yeah. Singers are dudes. They're just dudes.
Dudes.
Yeah, I'm just being nice.
So, okay, I do know one famous story. I can't believe what we've heard already, but you tell me about, you got to go up and open for a slew of bands. One of them was Firehouse. Was it a Pigpen show?
Well, we opened for them in Clinton at the Pigpen once, and then we opened for them later on in life at a place that the same owner had called Quad City Live.
Tell me about the first time.
And we opened for Bret Michaels there as well.
Oh, nice.
And he was nice, but his manager kid was not.
At the
it's really funny how it's not the stars that think they're the stars. It's the dudes that work for them that are arrogant.
You're
man.
absolutely right.
God,
you're absolutely
right. That guy was
right.
such a jerk at the Bret Michaels thing. Anyways, but Firehouse, we played. It was packed. It was a great show.
Were they the headliner?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just us and them. I mean, there was just two bands, Drophammer and Firehouse.
Do you mean the big ballad? What is it? Firehouse. What's the ballad? Close your eyes. Close your
Look
eyes.
into your eyes.
Look into your eyes.
Yeah.
It was an eyes song.
And Don't Treat Me Bad. Remember that
Don't
one?
treat me bad.
Yeah.
Baby, don't treat me bad.
No, I don't remember.
Yes,
What?
you do.
No.
Oh my gosh, they were a great band, man.
All right.
And
Okay, Firehose.
Yes.
Opening up for them.
so we're hanging around. The show's over. Everybody's gone. The lady that kind of pretty much ran the place, Connie.
Yeah.
We thought she had taken the band because that was usually her job, was to take the band either to the hotel or to Clinton International Airport or wherever they got.
Yeah.
But so there's nobody in the bar, like nobody.
Yeah.
Me and Brian. I think even Jerry, the bass player, went home. I think everybody's gone.
Yeah.
And we go to the back room, which is like a room closet with the ice machine, and there's a brand new pizza.
It's sort of a green room, a makeshift green room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. It was probably like a cheese pizza. It wasn't even fancy. It was just like a pizza in a box. And so we're like,
Box closed?
Okay. Brand new.
Yeah.
Never even been looked at.
Yeah. Never been looked
No. I don't even. It might even still have the little white thing then to keep them getting smashed.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so we're like, what the heck? And we're like looking over our shoulders. And so Brian, he just grabs a piece and starts wolfing it down, right?
Yeah.
So CJ Snare, the singer from Firehouse.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Walks around the corner. He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's my pizza.
Yeah. And Brian's like mid,
I'd be like,
and I had it in my hand, but I didn't eat it. I was like this close.
You should have said, will you sign my slice?
Oh my God. He was mad. He was so mad. And I put my piece back and I'm like, man, we're really sorry. We thought you were gone, man. And, we're like, all apologizing and shit.
he just grabbed his
and
piece.
he's like, just, keep your piece butthole.
Yeah.
Because Brian already has Brian slobber on there. And,
I would have been like spitting it back out onto the piece.
He was so mad. And he was also not very tall. But he was this tall right then.
Wasn't
It's like,
he supposed to be on the bus with hookers and his own dominoes?
Yeah.
What's he worried about a little pizza for?
He was mad at a wet hen.
Did you guys get paid for that gig even?
No, dude.
No,
we played a
course
ton
not.
of free gigs.
Hey, that's the third time you've said that. How mad do wet hens get?
Mad, dude. You ever saw one? Right.
Apparently
I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
Those things will chase you, dude. They're
Played drums on buckets.
I played drums on buckets and lived on a farm my whole life.
But
okay, so like not several, probably 3 years down the road, we opened up for them again.
Firehouse.
Did he remember it? He's
They totally remembered.
They let this happen.
Yeah, they totally remembered. Like, dude, they did it. Dude, you're the guys that ate our pizza. Yeah, and then they hugged us and stuff. They were very nice. They were really they'd help you carry your gear.
Yeah.
Like they're not like they weren't jerks. They were really super
Caught a
nice.
lot of these bands back in the day where they were on, their
Wednesday nights. Right? Yeah. No kidding.
They were trying to stay relevant while grunge was out there, and a lot of these bands were doing the package tours. And to your luck, you got to see some of your heroes.
Well, I got to play with a bunch of them.
That's so fantastic.
So both halves of Tesla. Tesla was kind of in a weird hiatus for a minute.
I remember that.
Because I got to say Sofa King on 97X. Because Z-Man, you remember him?
Yeah, I remember Z-Man.
Yeah. Z-Man's like, so blah, 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 guys. Because we're just green as shit, right?
Yeah.
And first time on the radio.
The mic's live.
Yeah, and he's like, it's going to be so fucking amazing.
You said that?
Because the name of their band was Sofa King. Like,
Sofa King.
Like, and they had a couch.
Yes.
They had a couch on their
It's gonna
T-shirt.
be so fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's what I said. On 97X, I said, it's going to be so fucking
You're trying to be
cool.
clever. You're trying to be clever. You got
Did
Z-Man
his
fired.
face just dropped.
Oh my gosh. His eyeballs got really big. It was super funny. We didn't get kicked off or anything.
That was your first radio interview?
Yeah. You interviewed me on the radio when I was at work one time for when we opened up for Bret Michaels. I
Thank
think.
God we weren't playing the Sofa Kings that night.
Yeah. Because I'd have been like, damn, Eric, it's gonna be so fucking cool.
I remember, and I'm not a
Sofa
musician.
King. I had a T-shirt. I don't think I have it. Yeah, but they had a couch and like this dude all sitting there burned out on the couch.
I remember going to shows. I'm not a musician, but anticipating here's an example. White Lion, back when I was in Hair Days.
Yeah.
Vito Bratta, great guitar player.
Yeah, for sure.
They opened for Ozzy. I think it was the Ultimate Sin tour. And I just wanted him to nail the When the Children Cried. guitar solo. I just wanted to hear it like I'd heard it a million times, and he played it like I got shit to do. I was like, oh.
I know that opening band's eating my pizza in the backstage.
But have you ever went and seen one of your heroes and you left the show and went,
oh man,
fuck,
I'm trying to think.
Or you still loved them, but just disappointed you a little.
Well, we saw Poison and Warrant and Quiet Riot and Enough's Enough.
Yes,
over in Peoria.
You love Ricky Rocket? I got to.
I love Ricky Rocket.
Seems like a great guy.
The flip thing that I do.
Yeah,
I stole that.
That's Ricky.
Yeah, he taught me how to do that in the back of a magazine.
In the back of a magazine.
That's so great.
Because somebody asked him, Circus Magazine or whatever.
Yes.
Ask Ricky Rock, how do you flip that drumstick? He said you put it between your fingers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no shit. And I started flipping a drumstick. Now I do it all the time. But no, Janie Lane was kind of at a bad spot in his life there, and he wasn't so great that night.
With Warrant, yeah.
I do remember that night not being very impressed with him.
Gosh, how many guys have we talked about that are dead?
Dude, I know, right?
I feel pretty uncool in this conversation because I don't have the rocker background that you guys do. But if I had to say my most disappointing idol concert, Bob Dylan.
Oh wow.
Like late in life, Bob Dylan, because I'm not obviously. Well,
he's still
that
out there.
Old.
He still does like 80 dates a year.
Yeah, but the songs sound weird.
They sound different.
I don't know if anybody ever told you, but it's just them, dude.
He's
my sister. They say my sister, my older sister. They say if she gets some beers in her, which never happens.
She sounds like you.
Oh yeah, she can do a mean Bob Dylan.
He
did something huge. Yeah, she gets her nose going. I've never personally seen it, but I've heard stories.
I've been to several. Too, and one really disappointing, but one. Illinois State Fair, Charlie Sexton, remember him?
Yeah.
He had Charlie Sexton on guitar. He had a young band. He was doing this troubadour thing, and he had his hat, and he was playing guitar that night. Tore it up.
Really?
But 10 years later or so at Assembly Hall.
Yeah.
Saw him with our friend Ryan.
Yes.
And a little bit disappointed. It was weird. It was quiet.
Yes.
He played
Everybody
really
was
rare
sitting
songs.
down.
He didn't address the audience. It was really strange.
Yeah.
But I've seen him several times and loved him most times.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'd like Vito Bratta to have a little redemption. I'd like to see him again with White
He's
Line.
probably just feeling it that night. He was playing jazz.
He did pull it off.
Oh man,
Listening
I can't believe
to
they
you
even played
guys-
that slow song.
Listening to you guys talk reminds me of MTV back in the day.
When there was
All
actually
this
songs.
shit was on TV.
Yeah. When that's all MTV was actually music.
I was so
videos.
jealous of Town Kids.
Because they had MTV.
I had like 3 channels.
Town Kids.
That's what I called them.
You were mad as a wet hen.
I was mad as a wet hen.
Do you remember?
You're gonna be using that shit now, ain't you?
Yes, I have no idea.
That's so funny.
When MTV finally
They're mad,
popped on.
dude. When they what?
When it finally popped on, when MTV finally popped on, it was great.
Oh yeah. I remember being at my friend's house when Stevie Ray got in the crash. Like Kurt Loder was all.
I remember exactly where I was too.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because I liked him. I thought he was different and cool, and we still like Stevie Ray at our house.
I think it was 20.
Yeah.
Sitting in the Native New Yorker. It was in Arizona. These guys from Buffalo decided to open up a wing restaurant.
Oh.
2 of them in Arizona. And they called it the Native New Yorker. I was a busboy there, sat and had my after work drink, and looked up at the TV and saw the same thing you did.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember the night. Yeah.
Wow.
Far out. By the way, I just bought a couple years ago, they released on vinyl that show. NPR was there, and they do bootlegs. NPR goes to shows. And so I've got it on CD both nights.
At Alpine Valley?
At Alpine Valley.
Shut up.
Yep.
Is it kick ass?
It's so cool. The cover,
I'm glad.
The cover is just worth looking at for hours.
Wow. I'd like to hear that because, that dude, he was just epic. And he was finally getting his crap together and getting off the blow. And,
Yeah, he was sober.
And, yeah. And,
Well, he died sober, and that's great. He did. He was sober for about 6 years. I think he had at least.
I was thinking, he'd been better off if he wouldn't have been sober. Poor guy. And I'm gonna probably say he doesn't get a lot of booze, but man,
Killing Billy.
but man, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get some boo on this.
Are you saying-
I would have traded Clapton for him any day of the week
Clapton for
Stevie Ray?
I'm there with you.
Because Clapton gave him the ride because Stevie Ray wasn't feeling good, and it's like, go ahead. And Eric was just being a nice guy. And I'm like, but dude, if we're going on in history, damn, I'd really like to hear what Stevie Ray would be doing. And Eric Clapton, he's still doing the same stuff. And And I'm just, I know I'm a butthole, but I'm a Stevie Ray guy over at Clapton.
Hey,
guy.
I'll catch strays with you all day on that one.
Because I wouldn't either. I don't want to see nobody die, obviously. But if well, if fate's gonna take a guy, I wish, I'd like to, go back and be like, don't do it, Stevie, man. I'll drive you home, man. Let EC have that air helicopter, man. Maybe it wouldn't have crashed.
Terry Hodges, if someone enjoyed your drumming earlier in the show, where can they come out and see you do it? And who are you playing with these days?
My band that I'm in now is called Neon Nova.
Yeah.
And
Steve Davis, he's
a popular fella in the area.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And good singer, man, really nice guy.
Terry Hodges.
And Terry Hodges is in that band.
Who else?
He's barely hanging in there. Bruce Nelson
on bass.
Holy shit.
Is there another bass player you would love to be on stage with besides that guy?
Sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love Bruce.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Brucey, we've played a ton of shows together.
Yeah.
Gosh, we were in Jarrah, we were in Concrete. We've played. So.
You've got SDB's brother.
Who?
That's pretty great. That's pretty great that you're on stage and when you look at Bruce, the relationship.
He's solid. Yeah, awesome. we lock in good. And then Sammy Leon, he's my brother.
Oh my God. We want all these guys on the podcast.
Yes.
And then Sean Cisna, who gosh, I wish we'd amazing keyboard player.
Yeah.
Nice guy. He's a black belt. Don't mess with him.
Don't mess with him.
Have you noticed the thread of your playing all the way back to playing the buckets in the farmhouse and playing in Neon Nova? I mean, the same style of music. You love the style of music you're playing.
I like rocking. I've played all kinds of music. I mean, though, Drive played a lot of funk. And
Neon Nova has a pretty wide umbrella of songs.
I call it mom rock.
Mom rock.
Well, we're doing Journey and we're doing Foreigner.
Yeah.
Anything that's rocking with a keyboard.
Yeah.
Because, Loverboy.
Yes.
All them songs. But they're all like good songs. I mean, we practice it a lot and we don't use any sequencing or any of that crap.
Nice.
So we work on harmonies and all that, sort of
There's
stuff.
no backing track for you? You're really playing the drums?
No, I play too fast. The track can never be able to keep up with me. Ask Billy. He'll tell you. You can't swing a dead cat up here without hitting a great, some kind of great musician. You can use that one too.
You've weathered the storm.
Here, picture it, Teddy. Watch this.
Now, is that dead cat wet?
It's frozen right now, dude. It's like 11 degrees outside.
It's 11 damn degrees. Terry Hodges.
I want to come back and talk more, give you some more Terryisms.
Is from Monmouth, Illinois, but he lives in Keithsburg.
No, I live in Kirkwood.
Neon Nova. He lives in Kirkwood now. He moved there from Keithsburg.
It's a suburb of Monmouth.
Not too long ago.
It's a suburb of Monmouth.
It's a funny story about Kirkwood. You can keep this or don't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You come in on one side of town, I think it says 900 people or whatever.
Yeah.
You come in from the south and it's like 700. like the signs don't match. They might have fixed them since then, but
That wraps up this episode. Thanks for spending some time going a little off track with Eric and Ted.
Rock and roll! Yeah! That was badass.
That was fantastic.